Okay, let's continue with the story of Cain and Abel, who brought an offering to God. Abel's offering was of his flock, a lamb, and God liked that offering, and Cain brought fruit from his garden, and God did not like that, and then Cain got angry at God. So let's see what happens, because God then begins to talk to Cain. And in verse 6, the Bible says, "And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth?" Wroth means angry. Why are you angry? And why is thy countenance fallen? Why is your face so ugly? Why are you so mad? And so then he said, If thou doest well, if you do well, then shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And so God says, why are you so angry? Why is your face so ugly? If you would do right, then you would be blessed, and I would like it. But you have to be careful, because sin is right there wanting to take over your life and your actions and your heart. So this gives us the indication that Cain knew what he was doing, and he probably brought the fruit knowing that it wasn't the best offering, but he wanted to do it anyway. And when God told him that wasn't the right thing to do, then he got all upset. And then God said, "And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him." This talks about the power of sin to control a person. When we allow sin in our lives, and when we start down the road of sin, it becomes very difficult to control it. Well, we can't control it. If you ever lie, or you steal, or you cheat, or you have a bad attitude, it's hard to stop and to ask for forgiveness, because it just takes control of us, and it's just a very difficult thing to do. So we have to be careful not to even start, and ask God, please help me not to sin in any little way, because it's something that I cannot control. And that's what happens with all of us, little children all the way up to adults. Sometimes we say, man, I can't control myself. Yeah, well, that's because we allow the sin to be there, and instead of saying, you know what, Lord, clean me of that, get rid of that in my life and in my heart. I don't want to be like that. And God will help us. Okay, the next verse says, so they have this conversation, God and Cain is angry. And God talks to him, and let's see how Cain responds to God's instruction, because God is trying to get Cain to behave and to do right. Verse 8 says, "And Cain talked with Abel his brother." Hey, he says, "Come out, let's go for a walk." And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Oh my word. Cain did something that had never been done before, and that was he killed his brother Abel. He hit him with a rock or with a stone, something, and the first person to ever die was Abel, and it was because Cain killed him. Oh my goodness. What is happening here? Well, this is the consequences of Adam and Eve's sin in the garden, because God told them, once you sin, everything is going to go bad. There is going to be all kinds of trouble. And how could they have known that even in their first two boys, there was going to be a horrible situation, a horrible fight, and the first boy was going to kill the second boy because he was angry at God, and because Abel had done a good thing and Cain wasn't happy. Okay, well, we'll see what happens next time, but this doesn't look very good.